Bob Warren. And Warren is called for a travel, took the extra stutter step trying to slow it up. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Indiana up 72-67. And now Utah is sending in their best outside shooter, Glenn Combs.
Neither team moving very well at the moment. Most of them, more of them, standing around, not doing anything and everything else.
Daniels up again. Second offensive rebound he puts through. And Indiana goes in front 74-67.
It's become more of a one-on-one game than anything else.
13 points for Mel Daniels. Here's Jimmy Jones driving. Goes down hard. He is called for a travel prior to the shot.
Jones down the baseline. He got called for steps. No question about it. Intimidated by Daniels.
Also by the floor. He hit that pretty good. Holmes comes in, gives a foul quickly to Fred Lewis with 3:51 left to play in the third quarter. The Utah Stars and the Indiana Pacers coming to you live from the Fairgrounds Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is Don Criqui with Pat Summerall. The winner of this series will advance to the Carolina-Kentucky winner. And right now, Carolina's up 3-2.
Indiana's up 3-2 in this series, so it could be all over for Utah. They could not go back to the Salt Palace. It'll be Monday night if Utah can pull this one out.
Now Utah wants a timeout. And his big asset on defense is just that he stays in that lane and is very intimidating. It's very difficult to get a good shot inside, a short jump shot. Now Utah starting to break down. They have not shot well in the third quarter. They've not rebounded well, and they're making mistakes. Indiana with an 8-point lead. It'll be tough to catch now, as with 3:28 left to play in the third quarter, they have a chance to go up by 10. Indiana setting a devil's pick down low. Guards working off to the weak side, the open side. Don Freeman shooting off the run. Don Freeman gets his third personal foul on the rebound. Utah puts the ball in play. Warren looking into Glenn Combs against a full court press. They're not giving Indiana. Indiana's not giving Utah anything. Finally get it up court to Willie Wise. Here's Glenn Combs against Fred Lewis. Combs takes it right inside, tries to feed Zelmo Beatty. Feeds instead Darnell Hillman to the Pacers. Roger Brown, always tricky from the outside. He'll put it up from there. He'll drive on it. Zelmo Beatty got a block, and they're calling a personal foul. It's clean from here.
That's number 4 for Beatty.
Mel Daniels with 13 points, 2-2.
Daniels will have 2 shots now. James Jones coming back in, replacing Glenn Combs. Utah's made 4 straight errors. They've turned the ball over. The last 4 times they brought it down the court. One of the principal reasons why they trail 75-67 at the moment.
Jimmy Jones from Grambling, you just saw there, credits much of his success as a basketball player to Big Willis Reed and the Knicks. Both from Louisiana, both played at Grambling. Jones came up behind Reed and plays with him every summer. Now the Pacers want a timeout.
Some of the players they had on that team, Willie Wise was then a rookie, and what looks to be about 20 pounds heavier then than he is now. Tom Washington was one of the forwards. Craig Raymond was the center. Merv Jackson was one of the guards. George Stone.
Not bad.
Not bad. Some names that are no longer around.
A lot of them disappeared. Now with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter, Bob Warren comes up court. Inside to Zelmo Beatty. The ball is slapped away. Picked up by Jones. James Jones feeds off to Bobby Warren. Rebound down to Willie Wise. Utah's going to have to shoot quickly. They don't get that many inside. They've got to put it up in a hurry before it's rejected by Darnell Hillman and Mel Daniels, but there was a travel on that call, and here comes Keller with the ball for Indiana. 2:20 to play in the third quarter. Indiana 77, Utah 67. Don Freeman puts it up. Rebound is cleared by Wise. Willie Wise at 6'7" brings the ball up court. Goes to James Jones, cross court to Bob Warren, a three-point attempt. Slapped out by Beatty. Don Freeman has the ball. It's one-on-one with Warren to Keller. He lays the ball in. And now Indiana takes command of the game, 79-67. Wise inside. Indiana playing the great defense here in the second half. That's one of the few opportunities Utah's had to get the good inside shot. And they got it only because Wise put him away with a head fake.
They got to get the ball to him because he's the only one that's hitting with any great degree of success at the moment. Willie Wise.
Bob Warren up court to Cincy Powell. He is free and gets that good percentage shot. 79-71. 15 points for Cincy Powell. Utah down by 8, and Cincy Powell, I think, was giving a foul. He came out looking like Batman.
One free throw for Bill Keller.
Guy's had a tremendous game. 15 points for Powell coming off the bench. His effort has helped keep them close as they are.
A lot of fouls. We still have 1:17 to go in the third quarter. A whole other quarter to go here at the Fairgrounds Coliseum in Indianapolis. Bill Keller, the top player in the state of Indiana as a high school senior when he led Indianapolis Washington to a state championship. Later, traded the top little man in college basketball when he led Purdue along with Rick Mount to the runner-up honors to UCLA in the NCAA playoffs. Said he'd never make the pros, but he's been in there now for 4 years.
A double foul.
Double foul. Very rare, Don. Yeah, I've seen this in a long time. Double foul.
Number 5.
Zelmo Beatty got his fifth, and Liddell Anderson is on his feet and screaming. One more, and Beatty is out. When he goes, that's club's in trouble.
Liddell Anderson very unhappy.
They're going to sit him down with 5 to give him a little rest. They've got a whole quarter to go. Zelmo Beatty's going to sit down with 5. Here's Gus Johnson coming in the game now for Indiana. Pacers won't give him a free shot. Cincy Powell puts it up. Tapped out to Keller. Indiana on the break. Lead pass to Roger Brown. Can't get through as he's shut off by Powell. Over to Keller. Underneath to Darnell Hillman. And Indiana goes in front 82-71. Willie Wise misses inside. Almost got us. Ball will come back inbounds to Utah.
The pace is really something at the moment. Both teams running, which they like to do. It's just a question of how long they can keep doing it.
Last shot of the third quarter coming up as James Jones works against Don Freeman, has a 3-inch height advantage. Darnell Hillman clears again. 5 seconds, and Roger Brown's the man they go to when time's running out. Roger Brown puts it up, but there is a whistle. And the whistle was to rule the buzzer sounded before the shot. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Indiana Pacers 82, the Utah Stars 71.
Here, in this league, we're not okay with strong. We go stronger. We don't settle for fast. We go faster. We don't want next. we want next level. Here, we go all out. Because we're all in. This is our league. And here, we don't go for good. We go for great.
I make it easy to save $600 on car insurance, so being cool comes naturally. I can't decide if this place is swag or bling.
It's pretzels.
Word. Ladies, you know when you switch, you get my Bomb Diggity discounts automatically. No duh, right?
Sir, you forgot.
Keep it! You're gonna need it when I make it precipitate. What?
What?
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
My son had been injured and he was prescribed pain opiates. No one ever told us how highly addictive these drugs were. My initial reaction was shock. My son didn't get so deep into the dark, scary woods overnight, and it's no straight line coming back. For parents out there who don't have hope, I realize there's a lot of families that are torn apart, but families can heal. Young people can get better.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
I've seen them all. Big, small, wide, slim, downright skinny. Long arms, long body, long neck. Boulder-bellied and barrel-chested. But I've never seen two exactly the same. Not yet. Which is why in every men's warehouse, our expert stylists and master tailors create the perfect fit that's unique to only you. Because no matter what size your label says, it's time to like the way you look.
Changing your oil after 3,000 miles? If you'd used new Mobil 1 annual protection, you wouldn't have to.
Why are you 3 inches tall?
What? You don't like short people? Don't change your oil.
New Mobil 1 annual protection.
Westbrook, deep shot. What a perfect ending!
This is a hernia mesh legal alert. If you experienced problems following a hernia repair, which resulted in the need for the removal of the surgical mesh, you may have a case. Defective or recalled hernia mesh products have been used during many surgical procedures nationwide since 2010. Financial compensation may be available if your hernia mesh was removed due to severe abdominal pain, adhesion or erosion of the hernia mesh, infection, allergic reaction, or other complications. Call now for a free consultation and case evaluation. It is not necessary to know what type of hernia mesh was used during your surgery. The lawyers at Science & Kirk can help. There are no fees or expenses unless a recovery is obtained. Don't wait. Call now to find out if you have a case.
Call 1-800-296-0368 for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-296-0368.
Utah has to really go now. Indiana's done a superb job of keeping the inside shots from taking place here in the second half. Great defense. Here is Darnell Hillman with a slap rejection, 2-on-2 break. We're going to have a goaltending violation after Hillman hit the ball. He knocked it off the glass. It's 2 points. 82-73 now.
Let's look at that block as Powell goes up here. And Hillman timed it perfectly. The ball had not started down.
Now they're ruling there was a foul prior to the shot. And Ron Boone and Bill Keller goes to the free throw, so their goaltending is disallowed. And Bill Keller, who was fouled in the backcourt, gets 2. Watch this.
Here's the foul they were talking about a minute ago. That's Powell going for the basket. Had to be called an offensive foul against Powell as he ran into Keller.
I do not understand it at all, looking at the back. 84-71, however, and Indiana's in the lead by 13 points. And Bill Keller gets a personal foul, only his first. He's about the only one that doesn't have a problem. Ron Boone goes to the free throw line.
One free throw for Ron Boone, who has 10 points.
11:39 left to play in the game. Indiana 8.